Just Dad here. Just finished prepping the Thruxton R for the Bonneville in 2021 on St. Patrick's Day. And some of you might want to ask, why do it so early? Well, occasionally you run into something that takes a parts order, or you need something that's not available, and it just takes a lot of time. And the other part is I like to get the that part done so I can go ahead and get the trailer done and get all my spare stuff located and marked and packaged up so we can get that and take it out there. I have some videos on all that stuff, how to do that. But I had 31 things to do on the Thruxton R. Finished 29 of them. The only two things I like to do, and I was probably going to wait for a while to do that. I'll go over the nuts and bolts and screws. That's one of them. Again, and I'll have to drain the gas. I'm going to leave the gas in there for a little while so I can occasionally start the bike up and run it, and maybe run around the block or something like that. But that's about it. One of the things that I have on gearing is I have it geared to an 1840. Now, for you not familiar, the Thruxton R normally is geared a 1642. So that's 2 teeth up in the front and 2 less in the back, which is a tremendous amount of gearing change. I'm going to show you the gearing table here that I use. Also use Gearing Commander as a reference, but that's only a reference. You have to understand that that's theoretical running. You're not losing 15% on. That's something you can run on the dyno. Nobody on the bike, and you have 5 to 10 minutes to run it and run it up as fast as you can run it. Out of Bonneville, you have 3 miles. It's about a minute and a half, and also you lose about 15% of your traction out there, and and then you're riding in it and then you're pushing through the air. So you're never going to do as good as the Gearing Commander says. But I use it as a good reference point because the Gearing Commander can show me the different combinations. And the other thing I didn't want to do is I was going to push the forks up in the bike. I've run it out there that way before. But once I put the gearing I have on there right now, I noticed that my chain adjustment, I'm all the way up, so I'm losing a little bit of wheelbase on that, and on that. So I didn't want to lose any more. Longer wheelbases tend to be a little bit more steady out there and do a little bit better. The shorter, there's a trade-off of going lower and shorter versus longer, and you lose stability. So it can get a little hairy out there if you get it too short and you hit a bump. Our goal out here is to go 150 miles an hour on this bike. I'm running on salt, and it's a little harder to do, especially when the density, the altitude runs from 5,000 to 7,400. So I'll lose anywhere from 8 to 20% of my horsepower. So the fairing does help a lot as far as aerodynamics. So what I'm going to do now is push the bike up here and get it out of the way, put it in a little bit different part of my shop, get it out of the way so I can work on some other things. This is just Dad for now, and no more Thruxton R updates until we get ready to run out on the salt.